Macabros y macabras, hoy tenemos preparado para ustedes un video muy especial sobre la película MADS, una de las mejores películas de terror independiente de los últimos años. Nos muestra el inicio de un virus zombie, pero con la particularidad de que está filmada en una sola toma sin hacer ningún corte. Nos muestra el inicio de un apocalipsis zombie desde la perspectiva de los infectados. Y es un video muy especial ya que gracias a nuestros amigos en Dark Side Distribution tuvimos la enorme oportunidad de entrevistar al director de la película, David Moreau, y a su protagonista, Lucille Guillaume. Con ellos platicamos de todo, por supuesto hablamos sobre MADS, pero también sobre cine de terror en general y nos contaron algunas historias sobrenaturales. Y estamos muy emocionados en compartírselos. Macabros y macabras, comenzamos.
Macabra. Terror real.
Hi David, I'm Cris from Macabra, a Mexican page dedicated to horror. We love MADS and we are thrilled that your film will finally reach theaters in Mexico.
Hola a todos. I'm very happy to be speaking with you. Very excited that the movie is released in Mexico. I love Mexico, for real. I mean, I was very close to shoot a movie in your country, and I spent weeks in your country, and it's probably my favorite country ever. So I have to tell you that before, because it's a place where life and death is much stronger than in our country in Europe, which is everything. It's so in your country you really feel alive, which is great.
Hi Lucille.
Hi.
Bonjour. Nice to meet you. I'm Cris.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm so happy too. I can't wait to Mexican people to see it.
Comment tes yeux?
Mes yeux.
Oh, tu fais quoi là? Je suis folle.
Many films about the infected or zombies reflect collective fears, such as pandemics or social crises. What inspired you to create the plot of MADS?
When I'm not working or reading or watching movies, I'm connected to all. I think that the sentence I use the most in my Google search is "end of the world." So I'm listening to all the smart people. People want to build a shelter. I mean, it's cool to build a shelter, but listen to people which are really scared and concerned about how civilization is going and where we are going and is it going to last long or not, or all those questions which are very, very important, very scary, and very all of that. So I'm very concerned with humankind in general, even if I think that humanity will always find a way to survive and to reinvent itself, but I'm really concerned. I'm really scared, and especially for young people, which I do think are less. They do not have, when I was 20, a blue sky, a blue and white sky in front of them, saying okay, the future will be cool because there will be this or that or that. I mean, the future now seems really dark and complex and interesting also, but dark, So I was I'm scared of losing the earth that I love. So I always was very, very, very attached to end of the world movies, and it's probably the movie I watch the most and the story I want to tell the most. So I'm very concerned. So it's kind of a love letter for young people, trying to tell them that even if the sky is black, there is always a little thing that can be cool in being alive, But I think it's a love letter to kids of today.
Tu saignes, mec.
Quoi?
Tu saignes.
Romain, t'as l'air tout paniqué,
Could you tell us more about how the themes of youth and also the substance abuse are connected to the infected and to the story?
I myself had a very bad experience with drugs when I was 20. I smoked a joint that I don't know what was in it, but definitely was not for me. So I spent weeks recovering from this crazy bad trip, and it has been something very, in my life, something that I will always remember. And when I watch during the pandemic all those videos of people in the street, like on not on fentanyl but drugs like that. I don't remember the name of this drug, where it's actually named the zombie drug, where you see those people like in the middle of the street, like completely lost in a world that I hopefully don't want nobody. I love experiencing what those poor people are experiencing, and it's so sad and so brutal to see those people left by themselves with few people helping them and lost in a world that, and there was kind of a connection that I had in my mind, strange connection between seeing those poor people being in a really difficult place and tough odyssey, dark odyssey, so I was I think there was kind of this drug end of the world stuff that was that melts in my mind, and I wanted to bring that alive in this story.
Cette vie n'existe déjà plus.
One of the most impressive aspects of MADS is the tension it creates, thanks to the fact that it was filmed in a single continuous take. What was the biggest challenge of working on this sequence?
Everything is a challenge, and but it's, as I sometimes said about how we worked on the movie, how we rehearsed, how we prepared the movie, that when you do a movie, you have many doors open of possibilities, and you can go left or right or no. It's like you have too many doors, And when you shoot a movie this way, you don't have many doors open, so you need to make fast choices, and the best choices are the choices that helps you to tell the story this way. So in a way, it was kind of easier for me than on any movie I worked on, that, okay, I don't have the choice, so it will be this way. And it was like this for me, it was like this for the actor, for the technique, for the crew, the crew members. Everybody knew where we were going, even if it was tough, challenging. The preparation was too short. It was, I wanted, because the camera is always close to the character, I wanted everything to be choreography in order to feel like movement all the time, and to find the right pace, not to be bored, and especially in those kind of movies that everything needs to be quick. So it was a lot. There was a lot of challenge, but I don't know. I felt it was so much alive. So it was a process that was very close from stage theater, even if we were like always moving, because we were, everything was actually, when you make a movie, everything is after. You shoot, after you edit, after you do the sound, after you do the visual effect, after, it's always after. And this one, it was always now. And I really love that. And I think that everybody was really embracing this like vivid way of making a movie. So it was crazy, intense stuff, but very, very cool, and very it was not easy, it was just fun.
Franchement, il faut qu'on se calme cette année.
Pourquoi, avec
Beaucoup trop la fête, dit-elle
C'est quoi,
en faisant
d'ailleurs
des trucs. Je sais pas. Ok, je sais pas du tout ce que c'est.
Vas-y, je te suis.
What was the biggest challenge in playing Julia and working on this complex sequence shot film?
It was very difficult technically, because one shot is a big choreography where you have to dance with the camera, with the sound, with the motorbike, the cars. Everything is very precise, but the challenge is that it's also an horror movie. So you have to be open. You have to get really strong emotions, and yes, you have to manage the technical aspect and also the no control on emotions. So you have to control and no control at the same time.
Is it true that the entire team filmed multiple times to achieve the perfect take?
We had like 5 try. The first one and the second one not good. So we got one movie the third time, one the fourth, and one the last day. So we got 3 different movies in one shot, and we keep the last one.
Please tell us more about the stunning motorcycle scene, Julia's wild and bloody journey alongside Anais' character.
It's in 2 parts. So when I'm in the scooter, in the motorbike with Anais, I'm not driving. We are on a loader, a loader. It's driven by a car and a fake motorbike is on it. So we have to fake the driving and we can play it because it's dangerous. She puts her hands under my eyes. So yeah. And then she falls on a little bed on the street. Okay. And the camera follows Laurie. And I took a real motorbike and then the camera goes to me. So it was hard to do it well, and it was funny also.
What drew you into the horror genre, and what was your first experience with horror movies?
There is a channel in France called Canal Plus. Probably you heard about it.
Okay.
Canal Plus. It was in 1984, so I was 8 or 9. I think it was 8 when my parents bought the Canal Plus. And this Canal Plus, when you don't pay, you have the image is like, and then you buy this little box and the image is clear. And Canal Plus was it's the channel of movies in France and in the world, because it became a huge industry, but a huge channel. I mean, a huge network. Sorry, in many countries. But it was the first time that we had like 7 movies a day. We can watch, and there was like horror movies that was never on TV. And one day my parents heard that there was like Texas Chainsaw being like here on Saturday at 10, and I knew that there was Texas Chainsaw, but I was 9 or 10, so my parents didn't allow me at all to watch Texas Chainsaw, but I wanted to see it, so I watched the movie through the peephole of my parents' room. So I basically saying nothing, but I hear like the and I was so amazed, and I say, okay, I think this is my life. I don't know, there is something so cool in it. And it was my first experience as a horror lover. And then after that, I watched it later, probably 2 or 3 years after, because it was still a difficult movie to find. But and my mother too was a big horror fan, so she showed me as a kid monsters movie, but black and white movies and all that. So I was really into. Freaks was one of my favorite movies. So I was really always in love with monsters and stories that actually are unrealistic and sometimes much more sincere and who gives a much more clear view of the modern times, So, and after I was like, I watched like 5 horror movies a day when instead of going to high school, So after I was drugged But yeah, Texas Chainsaw without without the image, just the sound.
What is your favorite horror movie, and have you ever had a paranormal experience?
My favorite one is The Shining, I think.
Here's Johnny!
And I haven't, but my family had, especially my mother. She played when she was young to Elijah, you know?
Okay.
And apparently it was really scary. And you know, the game, he writes Satan. When my mother told what's your name, the game writes Satan, and she's sure it's true. I'm not that sure, but
Have you ever had a paranormal experience?
No, but when I started to write MADS 2 years ago, 2.5 years, I was in my house. I have a house in the middle of nowhere, outside of Paris, in the forest, like literally like a cabin in the woods. And I was starting to write the story, and I thought, is that a good story? I have to run and think about it. So I went to run, which I never do because I never run. And it was raining, it was pouring rain, and I was in the middle of the forest and thinking about my zombie story. And I saw in the middle of the forest a real zombie, like destroyed face, like what the fuck is that? And I stopped and was like, I freezed. I was like, what the fuck is that, you know? And then I heard like, cat. And it was Walking Dead shooting an episode behind my house, like literally like 200 meters out of my house. And I thought it was really cool. So I thought that this was the god of zombie who was telling me like, David, you have to do this one.
Wow, amazing story.
Hi everyone, I'm so happy if you like MADS. Go to cinema, go to theater to see MADS. It's really an important movie for us, all the team. I'm talking for all the team. It's a one-shot movie about zombie apocalypse, but also love, drugs, young people. And I'm sure you're gonna like it, and I hope you're going to be afraid.
Tough to bring people and see us today because it's so easy to watch a movie with this, you know. Oh, yeah. But you know, especially those movies are made to be seen in a screen in a movie theater because it's so great, and it's so great to be scared and to be thrilled with people, somebody close to you. And as a movie theater is for me the safest place on earth. It's a place where you can be scared or thrilled or shocked in a place where you feel comfortable. And it's still for me as an old guy, a 48 years old guy, it's still the best way to see a movie. And especially this movie was really meant to be shown in a dark place, and dark places are the safest.
Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on your incredible work. We are excited to see what comes next, and thank you. We love MADS.
Thank you so much, Macabra. It was really fun to speak with you, and to all of you guys. Please tell me what you think about the movie, because it's really a cool ride. So I hope you will enjoy it.
Macabros y macabras, esperamos que hayan disfrutado de estas entrevistas. Quiero agradecer especialmente a Darkside Distribution por esta enorme oportunidad. Traen un cine de terror independiente al país, a las salas de cine, y eso se agradece muchísimo. Traen muy buen cine de terror y eso es genial. Y por supuesto, macabros y macabras, gracias a ustedes por apoyarnos siempre, ya que gracias a eso nos brindan más oportunidades para traerles mucho más y mejor contenido. Así que muchas gracias. Recuerden que nos pueden seguir en redes sociales, en donde hablamos sobre cine de terror en general, subimos un montón de contenido a todas las redes. También no olviden que nuestro podcast está disponible en todas las plataformas de podcast y por supuesto suscríbanse a nuestro canal de YouTube. Yo soy Cris, esto es Macabra, nos vemos y nos escuchamos la próxima.